All right, Zoria, here we are. We got your bike up on the lift, made some discoveries. Um, Evacuated the gas out of the tank, found a lot of water in there, got all that out of there. Added some liquid carb clean, some fresh gas, put the battery on charge. Bike started right up, seems to run okay. The only thing the bike doesn't do is make good voltage, which is partly why this video is here. I took the reg rec off your bike, and as you can read on here, some numbers from left to right: 588, 594, and 591 on the end, and then underlined it says warm. You might have noticed all this sort of like speckled shit. Reg rec doesn't normally look like this. It has got these odd numbers in the warm, I think because your bike needs a stator. Yeah. When this cools off, the numbers all recede back to 594s. But when it's warm, these are the numbers that you get, and it's because the stator is putting out faulty voltage. I'm going to sort of show you what this looks like. But before I do, just quickly, what this reg rec does, I think you already know this, but just for the record, what a reg rec does is when a motorcycle makes electricity, it makes it in AC, alternating current, and it's wild. At idle, it'll make a lower voltage, and when you rev it up, it just goes berserk, and it's alternating current. When it gets put through a regulator rectifier, what this is it rectifies the voltage from AC, converts it to DC, so the bike can actually utilize it for things like lights, horn, camera action, all that stuff. There are 3 windings in a stator, and each of them are independent of each other. And at AC, we could expect at idle one of them to make, or each of them to make consistent numbers. So the first one will make 5.9, and so will the other 2. Or the first one will make 9.6, and so will the other 2. And then when you rev the engine, they just go wildly way up, well above 12 volts of what the bike actually uses to function and operate. But once it's routed through one of these, it is usually capped to a maximum of 13.8, sometimes 14, but usually 13.8, and an absolute minimum low of like 12.2, which is barely a pass, but yeah, it's functional. Anyway, your bike is making some funky numbers, so I thought I'd produce this video for you so you can see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to bring this up a little bit more so you can see what we're talking about, and zoom you into the actual stator wires, like where the stator wires actually come out of the engine and would be plugged into the reg rec. All right, so I apologize for my camera work. These are the wires for the stator, and this is my multimeter, which is set to AC. Okay, I just went back and rewatched it. That video sucked. So I'm going to shoot it again, and this time I've locked everything off, so there's no drifting. You're going to see everything. Okay, here we go. So let's start the bike. Got the red probe here. I go into the first winding. Ground is secure. Alright, so first winding is 16 to 17 volts. Middle winding 5.5 to 4 point. Third winding with the last winding, 16.7. So 1 and 3 are pretty good, but it's the middle one that's shit the bed. And that's why your bike is making such poor voltage, is because you need a stator. Sorry, bro. I'm also going to finish this video with the simple fact that you also, in my opinion, I think you need a reg rec as well. Numbers are good. When I test this guy, the diodes appear to be even. In other words, inside this thing is a bunch of diodes that convert electricity from AC to DC. And in doing so, they also offer a somewhat of electronic gate. Electricity flows one way, but not back the other. And that's one of the bias ways to test a reg rec. The biases on this one is even, but it's those 3 numbers that are uneven, and also its visual condition. On the top it looks good, but on the back it's like, yikes. that makes me think you probably need both. The least expensive path to confirming that would be to put in a new stator with this reg rec and see if the bike makes good voltage. If it does, leave this reg rec, even though it's ugly, leave it the way it is. And if it doesn't, then replace this and then problem solved. All right, man, that's it. That's all I got.